Amazing group here. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Options Income Launchpad Monday Market Kickoff. I'm Scott. I will be your host. As always, what we do is for education illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers or advisors. And therefore, nothing we do should be considered personalized investment advice. Decisions made based on information provided. It's at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. Let's talk about the open. Every time I'm like, I need to do my slides. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, off to the next thing. And then until I get to this point, I'm like, oh, damn it, those slides. I should make a note. I get it. There are solutions to this problem. Look at how the market opened. What's on the calendar? What happened with our posture? Interesting in the posture this week. If you didn't notice, if you weren't there, we dropped a little bit more. The model actually only dropped a quarter of a point. It's like I'm still pretty bullish. Silver spot hit 110. Good night. Opening range and early week opportunity list. We had a pretty good list. About 21-ish made it. And this is our last trading plan section of prioritization. So keep that in mind. Market's up 0.29 on the S&P. Good start. Good start. The Dow will go to the DIA, up about 0.35. The Russell, flat on a pullback after the highest, the highest move. The NASDAQ, marginally, 0.19. 0.19. I discovered my AI is keeping a score of its own. Oh, its own score. Oh, that wily little devil. If you missed it, this was... I'm a 375. We, I guess the collective. I mean, this. I say I, but a lot of times I'm weighing in from you guys as well. So it's more of a collective we. Dropped 0.75 of a point to 3.75. What else? The model. So I dropped in short term, in volume, and on the VIX. Though everything is either still positive or neutral. I haven't had anything go negative yet. The Oracle AI scoring dropped dropped short term, dropped VIX, but raised sector rotation and ended up at a 4.25. We'll see. Okay, quick peek at, let me just make sure all of these are reloaded. The Fed is set to hold rates. We were going to go look at Fed Watch, but we hadn't seen anything any earlier than June or July. A lot of earnings this week, busiest week. Some big ones are this week still. Gold tops 5K for the first time in breathtaking rally. What else? So futures faltered, but the markets themselves opened pretty good. This is not updated. It is not down 2%. We are certainly was less positive. Let's see. All right. This week's calendar. Today we have durable goods. Delayed. It's from November. Orders are up marginally. That's good. I mean, nobody really cares. Tomorrow, consumer confidence. We'd really like to see this achieve its forecast of at least a marginal turn higher. Much prefer that number in the high 90s or even in the hundreds. So 90 is not a great number. Then Tuesday, the Fed starts meeting. Wednesday, they make their announcement. Expectations are no change in interest rate policy. Potentially, there could be some change in the language. And that might be something that we're looking for. But as of right now, the full dot plot expectations for the year are just a quarter percent raise. Okay, let's get some charts going here. Let's get back to the SPY now. We've circled through the markets. Good start. 10 minutes in. Let's take a peek at the opening range here. Okay, what are we looking for? You can see it's slowing down. We're going to let it establish its range. Does anyone rush in and just start trying to day trade the first 5-10 minutes? It's a bit of a clamor in there. I don't know. It's most, and it's not something I've looked into lately. But most, Glenn says no to that. I was going to say most conventional wisdom is, and mine's the 20-minute. Though when I learned it, I read people did anywhere from 15 to 30. Let the opening range establish, trade off that opening range. So, yeah, let's keep an eye on that this morning. Did and done. Okay, just took one bullish entry, boom, boom, and in and out. Okay, fair. Yeah. How do you find the pricing in those first 5, 10, 15 minutes? Reasonable enough that you're doing it? Love it. A lot of stocks took off from the start last week, for sure. 10% on the option. That makes sense, but that's what it is. Okay. On a SPY option. We'll come back. Let's get back into this chart and just start looking through our list. Alcoa, you can see opened higher and sold off already. So it's still sort of in a post-earnings settling process. Apple, trying to make a little bit of a post-earnings move. Listen, I'm rooting for Apple. I am absolutely rooting for Apple. Right now, it seems like maybe this consolidation line is sped up a little bit. Earnings are here. I would love to see it pop down, and then even if it wiggled on earnings but still had a higher low. Anyway, Archer Daniels pausing. Today. But if it pops down, I don't think it. I actually don't even know that it has a support level right now. If the only way, yeah, for me, this thing has to go up, down, there, like that. That's the only way. I'm out here thinking, all right. Now it may be the start of the next one of these. If that's going to start right here, great. I'd love to get into that and then trade several of these. I trade many of those Apple moves back there, so I would look to do the same thing. Absolutely. If we take a look at this from a weekly standpoint, you might be thinking, oh, yeah, this thing's definitely getting ready to bounce now. Who knows, right? It's different perspective. Okay. Applied Materials still in consolidation. Still waiting. But this is starting to, looks close. AMKR, I said I would potentially trade the hiccup now. One candle does not mean it's there yet. I need to kind of see, does it, come down again and start, right? What's happening here? Stochastics just barely rolled over. Oof, the Amazon. As I said, this was not an alert, but it was one that I think I took and a few others. I look at this and I think I'm okay. I'm still on my trajectory here. Still positive from my entry. But, of course, I don't love to see that. Give it some flexibility here today. APH, I said it was looking like a setup. I'm just this close to earnings. It's tough. ASX, oh, look at that. Still going. Maybe a continuation trade. Just one of these pauses and off it goes. AXP, earnings are getting close. Just kind of moving around here at these lows. Nothing substantial from the buyers yet. Alibaba pulling back. Bank of America. Tell me if we touch on one that you're in or one that you are thinking about. Make sure that you flag it and be like, wait, let's talk about that. NVIDIA took a HAL. Okay, I'll hit that one when we get there. NVIDIA up marginally today. A few people still holding that. BCS, Barclays. Ooh, Barclays. Maybe trying to move up out of here. Heiken looks okay. Potentially starting another one of these moves. I guess I should, before we look too much further, I can't remember exactly which one of these I did check the options on. Oof, this one looks okay, actually. If you get about 3 points in the money, you're all right. 2.5, 3.5, you start to lose it. So I'd probably start out of the money. 27s, 28s, 50 cents. They can go. Yeah, I think that would. I'm still gonna keep it on. just in case. What would our target be here? This is, let's say, a move like this, 23 and a quarter. That was a pretty big move. What if it was just this? 2.5 points. 2.5 from here. 28.25. Still has $1.85 to go. I actually feel like there could be a trade in there. Seems to be a good moving stock. Bud. Let's get back to the regular candles. Okay, Citi. Citi looks interesting. Pulled down. Hitting some support. Possibly coming out of it. I think I'd take this one. Maybe a little more bullishness here. That would give me an entry around maybe like 115.75, 116. Stop at 112.50. That would be 3.5 points. And my target would be probably 123. That's 8. 3.5 points. That's 8. We're going to maybe build this one. That's 8. That's 2-1 on the first move. And then, I'd probably say 127. That's another 4 points. So 3-1. Yeah, this checks the boxes. Implied volatility is pretty low. All right, that's a leading candidate. We'll come back to it. Caterpillar setting up, but earnings are just right there looming. You have to be careful with it. CF, overextended, CIEN, a little hiccup bounce. Sienna is a strong candidate. We can build this one too. Now here's the deal. For me, it's a tough one to want to put on this early. If I wait, it could end up way up here. If I put it on now, at the end of the day, it could end up back down here. And then I'm like, wait, do I consider that a signal still? This could uncross by the end of the day. So with this as a swing trade, you have to be a little bit more cautious about when you believe it's a confirmed signal. But it does look pretty enticing now. So far we have Citi looking pretty good. We have Sienna looking pretty good. Coherent. Now. Oh, Cisco. I was talking about Cisco. I said that was one I was intrigued by. It's kind of a pop, 2.8% today. Okay. Delta holding. Diamonds up 0.4. Dow starting to just in the consolidation right before earnings. Nothing there. Estee Lauder maybe consolidating to a potential buy. Ford stabilizing, trying to see if if it holds and turns. We're fine. That's what I'm looking for this week on that trade. GE still down. Gold big move up, 2.25%. Ooh, almost ready for what are we? The first one. Okay. GM earnings. Google earnings are not far away, but I think there could be a trade here. I'm going to be watching this one. Let's see if we get a turn for a little pre-earnings bump. You can see last time it definitely got a pre-earnings bump. Very similar, just sort of all of a sudden made that move. That's the kind of thing we might be looking for over here. We'll keep our eye out for that momentum. Goldman, I like. Well, I like Morgan better. I like Citi better, but it did, it's holding its trend. Even though there was a gap here, it's stabilizing quickly right at that level. Halliburton is the first one that came in as a request. Let's grab that. Okay. Little overextended. If you're in it, just came out of earnings pretty strong. If you're not in it, I would be thinking to myself, yeah, this thing looks like it could be ready for a pullback. It would be very hard to get a good reward to risk ratio now. If you're in it, you're probably thinking that's 2 days in a row. Really failed to hold its high at 35. It's, stochastics is overbought. It's kind of crossing down. Probably be looking to take some profits. Okay, Home Depot. Kind of waiting on that to see what it's doing. The stochastics rolled over. It's still pushing high, so the sellers aren't having much impact right now. Here's a Hecla Mining. I don't know if there's silver or gold or both, but anything mining right now obviously is just smashing it. Doing phenomenally well. IBM holding. Intel. You can see the Intel, it got a little bit overheated right before earnings up in this 54 level. Earnings, it gaps down, sells off, finishes around 45 today. It's down another 4.5%, 43. Okay. Nothing there. We were thinking about it, and then it just was a little too much going on around earnings. We'll watch and see. IBZ, Invesco, earnings are tomorrow before market. IWM. What did I say about Howmet? It's very close. Right? I mean, it looks fantastic. Did I skip that somehow? Did I miss Howmet? Yes. It's crazy. This is the best one. No, I definitely did HL because I talked about that being anything in mining. I think I jumped from that somehow to IBM. Good catch, Don. This looks great. I'm kind of thinking another one of these somewhere out here. is developing. It's very close. For today, I'm still leaning towards City and Sienna are the two that we'll look at, build them out a little bit, and see which one looks enticing. But this is setting up. This is definitely looking ready for something this week. IBM, no. Intel, no. IBZ, earnings, small caps, stabilized, 0.36 today. Lumentum, chopping around, earnings aren't far. Lam Research, earnings are Wednesday. MasterCard, nothing's there. Meta, a little bit more of a, again, pre-earnings bump. You've got a day or two more. It's Wednesday aftermarket, a couple of days. Big candle, okay candle, small candle. Where is it at? Right at this old resistance. Could it get on up to 677, another 10 points? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But this is if you were in it, be a time to start tightening your stops, etc. Okay, Monster Energy or Monster Beverage a little overextended. Morgan Stanley, there you can see what I'm looking for, ready to pull this over as necessary. It's getting close. Morgan Stanley's getting close. Microsoft, little pre-earnings bump. You can see why I might be looking for a pre-earnings bump on Google. Okay, let's see. Micron overextended. Netflix is underextended. I feel like Goldilocks. This one's a little too high. This one's a little too low. This one's right in the middle. No, this one is sort of sideways. It's at its highs, overextended there. Nvidia, be careful. If it fails from here, we have to have a line in the sand. Palantir, underwhelming right now. The Q's up 0.4 today, so that one looks okay. The real Rocket Lab getting closer. Getting closer. RKT, Rocket Mortgage, getting closer. We've got trades just kind of lingering, potentially waiting for us out there. Ross Stores. A lot of setups in here. RTX. You would think, yeah, that's another one, Scott. Unfortunately, we've got earnings. We got to see what happens tomorrow before market. Silver smash. 8% up to 100 on the ETF 100. The actual contract price 111. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, it's something, isn't it? SNDK. It's about to report earnings. Let's go take a look at the 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just kind of hanging out at the top of the opening range right now. So if this thing consolidates down a little bit and then turns from there, that's the kind of setup I would be looking for in a day trade position. We've got, yeah, I think we could see that potentially materialize if anyone's looking for something. Buyers came in, opened the market, gave it a push. Now they've kind of eased up. Sellers look to be coming in. We'll see what that becomes. We'll come back another minute, another candle or two. STX earnings. Cisco earnings are tomorrow before market. Otherwise, there's a lot of these that I'm like, yeah, this looks pretty good. Ooh, TJX. I'm going to say no. Ross Stores is better. Tesla earnings very soon. Taiwan Semiconductor. Still a maybe. Still a maybe. You could have taken this trade. I would have said that's valid on Friday. If so, you're in a bit of a hiccup, but that's fine. Vale overextended. Viking holding the 50. Today's VIX is kind of flat. Technically up a little bit from there, but we'll see what happens. A little bullish run, and this could engulf here. And then come on down a little further. We'll see. Not used to that. I'm going back to red. VOD, we didn't get to these yesterday. What just happened? No way, I think I just jinxed it. Oh, there's a message for me somewhere that says you can't trade this, I think. What's going on? So weird. I'm like, it literally locked me up on the VIX again. I don't know what's going on. Says I'm connected. Well, that's not very helpful. I'm going to have to shut it down real fast. So frustrating. All right, sorry. Get this back up and running here. In the meantime, we'll take a quick Fed watch break. I believe June was the first. You can see June is where it first starts to tilt towards the possibility. Of course, then I'm wondering, yeah, there's a heavier expectation demons in the system. There's a heavier expectation built into the futures than there are to the actual dot plot itself. So installing updates. Can you update it so it doesn't freeze when I look at the VIX? That would be helpful. Okay, so a lot of setups. Today, there's a possibility with Citi. There's a possibility with Sienna. And as soon as there we go. Proceed to login. Okay, 1 second. Oh. There we go. And in the meantime, I will bring up a template for a trading. Okay, here we go. Almost done loading. I'm going to not click on the VIX. Son of a gun. And let's get a chart. Okay. That didn't look right. Okay. Okay. Let's go take a look. I'm going to get a second instance up here. Bear with me. Okay, let's go take a look at Citi. Yeah, you can see I would want it at least above 115.75, which is the high, the open of this, the top of this body, and then a little bit more confirmation would be above the high. No, 115.63 is the high. Sorry. The open is 114.97. So I would say probably 115.25 to 115.75, kind of confirms it. Something that says it's regaining the price and starting to try to move again. That should turn this back to the upside as well. It's right on the bubble, wanting to turn. Okay, so that one's a little bit, back and forth, but again, my stop would probably be 112.50 down here. So at most 3.5 points. I'd be thinking I've got 8 points to 123 and change. That's my take profit at old resistance, and then see if we can't get 3 or 4 more on top of that. That's gonna give a full amount. Let's see. I'm gonna go start building it. Let me bring this over. Okay, this is on Citigroup. Okay. And apparently I haven't looked at Citigroup in a while. We're going to go 123.25 on one. We're going to go 127 on one. 112.50 on one of these. And then we're going to reorder it. There we go. Cool feature. If you're just kind of in these charts here, let me go back to normal charts. Cool little feature. I can come here and I can say set to slices to charts. And it comes in here and it's like, okay, there's your stop. This is the live price or around what your entry would be. There's your 123.25, and you might think, you know what, that might be a little high. Maybe I want to pull it back to catch this, give it a little more probability. 122.42. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. And this is what I would be looking for here. Next step, pick an option. I feel like there's still time for the Feb 25s. Pretty cheap. I'm not paying too much for time. Looking for a couple weeks. I usually look for 10 to 14 days more than I need. So if I need 7 to 10, I need at least 17 days, upwards of 24 days. This gives me 25 days. So yeah, 120s are probably where I would go. A lot of open interest there. And I usually give it at least a week. You can see I'm getting more like 3 to 1 and upwards of 6 to 1 on this. Based on the options. Why? Well, because they're pretty cheap. If I look at the implied volatility, it's pretty near the low of what it has. And so 957. Yeah, I think there you go. This is an easy one. You're around a $95 of risk, rounded to $100 of risk per contract. So if you're like, $300, I'd go to 3 contracts. $289 at risk. A little bit more if you take a little longer. You've got almost 1,000. You're getting 3 to 1 at 123.25, that first level. And 6 to 1 if you can make the big move. So yeah, I would say there's something here. 115.30. I would say it's pretty close. Give me your thoughts. City trade. I don't need this just yet. You guys are so quiet. All right, let's go look at Sienna. A 120. That's am I doing it or considering it? Considering it. As I said, I want to see what the confirmation looks like, but the consideration was indeed a 120 call. So, Is it ready for an alert? Maybe not yet. But if it meets your rules, then you might be ready to go ahead and pull the trigger. Yeah. Spreads are fine. They tend to stay pretty okay through the mix. Good open interest. Yeah. Okay. Always like a financial. There you go. Sienna. Let's go look at Sienna now. There's a good chance one of these two becomes an alert for us today. Ooh, wait a second. I'm not sure. Sienna. I could be off on Sienna. I don't see any lines. We've been watching it for a while, and there's a time or two where illiquidity sneaks through. I was looking at this one, but I got here and I'm like, ooh, good. They have weeklies. I'm still oriented around that Feb 25 days. Good spot for me. I don't like this. This is the standard. This is the standard February, third Friday. Everything else will have less. If I go here, 18, 46, 0, 2, 0, no volume. February, 79, 73, 10 traded, 33 trade. And these spreads are pretty wide. Pretty wide. Yeah, you can't get away from it. 25 days, 15 points out of the money. You're paying 13, and 3 of it is spread. What's the implied volatility on this? Oh, yeah, look at that. 77%. And you might think, oh, well, then you could, spread trade it. You can't spread trade it because now you're doing 2 spreads, 2 options at this level. So you're getting hit with $3 on either side. They'll come down a little bit. Yeah, no, this is untradeable to me. I'm kicking it off the list, which is disappointing because that was probably, although it was. To be fair, we'll go back and redo. If you actually look, it looks like it's having quite a little sell-off right now. So it's like it's ready. It's not ready. It's coming down. Okay. Okay, went. So that one's off the list. Let's dive in a little bit to see. Oh, I mean, it does look like it's holding down in here. Coming off of this. A little bit of strength, trying to pop, catch a little bit in here. I'm okay with that too, actually. Let's look at the 5 minute just to kind of see. So big move up. Now it's kind of jiggling around in here. Just on a pause, but strength on the 1 hour. Okay, let's go back and reevaluate this. We've got a few more minutes left. Okay, let's see here. Back to C. $142. Yeah. Let's see. $142. Can we get it for the mid at 138? Yeah, let's try it. Okay, got 137. Got 137. I'll probably build this alert out at 140. Risk per contract. We'll call it 140. Yeah, we'll say 95 risk per contract. Okay. Yeah, there it is. That'll be our first alert of the week. City. Looking pretty okay. Good reward to risk. Cheap options leads to good increased reward to risk on those positions. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns? I'm going to go ahead and get that built out. That was $1.40, we said. 95. City. You guys are watching the magic happen. 120 strike, I believe, is what we ended up at. Is that right? 120 strikes. That is 20 Feb 26. Long calls. Any questions? It's good stuff. Market's looking okay. Let's go back one more time before we wrap up. I'll go finish that on my own. SPY. 5 minute. You can see we bounced out of the opening range. Continuing to look bullish. Nvidia is struggling a little bit. Ford is flat. All right. All right. Well, it's good to see everyone. We will pick up tomorrow morning. And then we will have our Friday, our other sessions Tuesday evening, Q&As. Should be a blast. Make sure you join us. Thanks, everybody. As always, happy trading.